is the Ms.FitVegan podcast, episode 204. I believe that hope is the most important thing. And when you lose it, you're devastated. That's what's going on with me right now, in case anybody's interested. My mom and I, we didn't have the best relationship. I was her mom, pretty much. I was the mom. I was the dad in the family. You know, I was the responsible one. I paid the bills. And I was the one keeping the family together. Even after my sister died, I had to take care of my mom and make sure that she was okay and everything was being paid and she was staying out of trouble, even though I moved away. And so I couldn't always prevent everything. But we didn't have the best relationship. But what's hurting so badly is that when she died, all of my hopes and dreams for making a better life for her died with her. And that's a very difficult thing to let go of. I've been through this with my sister. You know, when my sister passed, all of my dreams of taking her on a Disney cruise and her healing, by eating a raw vegan diet, and her, me being able to afford to get her the very best physical therapy so that she didn't have to have her leg amputated, which was the next step in the process of, her life. The next step in her life was she had to get her leg amputated, but she died before that happened. Because there was just, every morning, her leg was like blue. There was absolutely no circulation. She had a stroke about 10 years before she passed. And so she had no feeling, or she was paralyzed on one side. But that's another story. Hope is what keeps us alive. And when we lose it, it takes something out of us. When we lose hope, now there is no hope. There is no possibility of me winning the lottery or blowing up online, making millions of dollars so that I could help millions of people, and specifically my mom. I had so many things that were on my vision cards. I read these vision cards every morning, and there were so many things on there that I wanted to do for her, that I was going to do for her. I was going to fix her teeth. I was going to move her to a beautiful community in Florida. There's all these 50 and above community places where you have your own house, but like you're in a community. So you have friends and you have a social life. I found a place, but I just couldn't afford it. There were so many things. I wanted to take her on a cruise. She always wanted to go to Alaska. I wanted to do so many things for her. And now I can never do those things. And so that's what's hurting very, very, very deeply. And that is a reason why I'm unable to, at this time, to continue my passion, which is interviewing people, learning, going live, making videos, making content, making reels, posting, sharing my life. I'm unable to do this at this moment. I'm trying to do it, but it's really difficult because I feel very broken, and I almost feel like I'm dead because all my dreams died. And yeah, I had dreams for my grandma as well, but my grandma was very old. Remember, my grandma was 99. She died 2 days before my mom, and she was quite old. So, that was a death that was expected. But my mom was 75 years old. She looked 55, and she had so much energy. We were doing Bikram yoga on Zoom a lot, which is 90 minutes, okay? She was juicing every day. She was eating healthier. And she was supposed to be here right now. She was supposed to be here in Florida with me for over a month. I bought her a plane ticket. And she is here with me, but it's her ashes. So it's not exactly the same. So yeah, that's what's going on with me, in case anybody's wondering. All of my hopes and dreams for a better life for my mom, who wasn't perfect and probably shouldn't have had kids. She was quite irresponsible, and she wasn't not equipped mentally or financially or emotionally to have kids, but she did, and we all made the best of it. My family made the best of it, and I'm grateful to be here, but it wasn't easy. Another thing I wanted to say was that I don't know if I did a podcast on this, but I told the women in my group, in my coaching group, and I got to ask them if they did it, because I've been recording an ongoing recording in my iPhone, voice recording, voice notes app. I have an ongoing recording of traumas that I have experienced in my life. And I've been recording these and trying to listen to them at least once a day. And the reason I'm doing that is because this is a practice that you can do in order to take back control of the situation, in order to take back the power that trauma might have had over you. I'm going to give you an example of one of my traumas that I just remembered this morning upon waking up. So, when I was a kid, I cannot remember how old I was. But right before we were sent back to my mom's, we were allowed to visit for the weekend. So we would arrive on Saturday morning and we would leave on Sunday night, me and my sister. They let us have weekend visits with my mom. On one of the visits, I probably was about 7 or 8. I really couldn't tell you. On one of the visits, I remember my mom was out shopping. Okay. And right then, that's illegal. You're not supposed to leave a 7-year-old alone with a disabled sister. But, my mom had her problems, and I'm not going to blame her for that because, hey, anybody can have kids, right? I mean, there's a test to have a car. You got to get a license to drive a car, but no test at all to have kids. But listen, I have forgiven her and my father. I've forgiven everyone that has hurt me in the past. But she was out shopping, and I was home, and I saw this dish. It was like a candy dish, guys. And in the candy dish were these red Tic Tacs and these other red candies, like circular red candies. And I always had a sweet tooth. I loved candy. And I wouldn't say I had a food addiction yet, but I loved candy. I love sweets. And so I ate one of the Tic Tacs, and then I ate another one. And then I tried this other candy, and I was just sucking on it. And it didn't taste like anything, but it was candy, so I ate it. And then I had another Tic Tac, and then I had another candy. And then I went to watch TV with my sister, and then I went to have another candy, and then I went to have another one. I was just eating it. And I think there was even something else in there, some chocolate or some Skittles or something, right? Well, I don't remember the story 100%, but when my mom came home, she started freaking out. She started screaming and freaking the fuck out. and asking us where the pills were. And then I was like, what pills? What do you mean? She goes, in this dish, there was candy and there was pills. Where are the pills? Okay, so in that moment, I realized that I had swallowed something that wasn't candy. It was some type of pills. And to this day, I didn't ask my mom before she passed. I know we talked about it once, and I believe it was like Valium, perhaps. It was something for anxiety. And I remember as soon as she said that they were pills, I felt extremely sick. And I was so fucking scared, you guys. I started like shaking. I was like freaking out. I got really, really, really scared. And my mom was like screaming at me. She's like, you have to throw up. You have to throw it up. But I was afraid to throw up. Like I didn't know how to throw up, and she kept trying to make me throw up. And it was like a big thing, and it was very traumatic. She was screaming at me, and my sister was crying, and I was crying, and I didn't know how to throw up, and she kept trying to make me, and I didn't want to throw up because I was scared of that. And maybe this is where my fear of throwing up came from, actually, now that I think about it. But anyway, long story short is that I got really, really, really tired, but I was crying. I didn't know what to do. And my mom could not call 911 because if they found out, then my sister and we were never going to go back to her. Like my mom was trying to get us out of foster care. And there was no way. If this like was reported to the police, it would be on her record. It would be really bad that her daughter, 7 years old, consumed like 20 pills of Valium. So what my mom did was she just like tried to calm me down, and I got really, really, really tired. And eventually I went to sleep, even though I was up because I was crying hysterically. I was so scared. I didn't know what was going to happen to me. I don't know. I thought I was going to die. My mom didn't know either. But eventually I fell asleep. This was a traumatic event for me, I see now, because of multiple reasons. And I recorded it. And I urge you guys to also record all of your traumatic events and listen to them. And it's going to be very difficult, and you might cry. And it's very healing. And I know we don't want to think about it. We don't want to talk about it. We don't want to listen to it. That's crazy. But what happens is when you get comfortable and familiar with your traumas, they no longer control you. Okay, if you were raped, if you were sexually abused, if you were called names, if you were tortured, if you were stalked, if you were traumatized in any way, big or small, I want you to record it and I want you to start listening to it. You've got to get your power back. And so this traumatic event, it caused me to be extremely afraid of people making my food. Ever since then, I was afraid of restaurants. I was afraid of people making my food because I was afraid to be poisoned, because I didn't trust anything that I wasn't in control of. I didn't just eat candy from a dish ever again. I was so afraid. And so, I don't know why I wanted to share that. I just did. I just wanted to. And maybe it's going to inspire you to record your traumas, or at least write down your traumas and look at them and read them and think about them. But I urge you to record them. You know, your affirmations, your vision cards. If you have done vision cards with me, I might do them for New Year's as well, although I'm really not feeling like myself. So I don't know if I'm going to do my annual New Year's workshop, but we'll see. I urge you to record things, affirmations, vision cards, these traumas, different things, because what happens is life gets really busy, and a lot of times you cannot look at your affirmations. You don't have time for your vision cards. You don't have time to read things, but you'll always have time to listen, whether that's in the car, brushing your teeth, whether you want to do yoga and listen to your affirmations, or you want to on your walk to work or on your lunch break or whatever it is. I don't know, but you're going to have 20 minutes a day to listen to these things, okay? And if you don't have 20 minutes a day, then you're just not prioritizing them. There's 24 hours in a day. There's 24 hours. You have 20 minutes to do affirmations, to listen to your vision cards. You might run out of the house and you might not have your vision cards, but you always have your phone. So if you record things on your phone and you set alarms on your phone to remind yourself to listen to them, well, then you're actually going to do it. It's really important, guys, that you do things for yourself every day. And listening to my traumas, I know that sounds horrible, and it is. But it's helping me to get my power back, to not feel like a victim anymore, to understand that it wasn't my fault, and to understand why I act the way I act, why I am the way I am, why I'm afraid of people, why I'm afraid of eating at restaurants, why I am afraid of I was afraid of being alone. I was afraid to go to sleep for so long. It was important for me to understand that there's nothing wrong with me. Things happen to me just like things happened to you. And it's part of life. And the more we ignore them, the more they control us. So maybe you want to do this, or talk to your therapist about it, see what they think. Maybe they don't recommend this for you, and that's okay. Whatever works for you. This is working for me and a few of my clients that have done it. And I want to urge you to try it and do this if you think it might be something that will help you. It was very difficult in the beginning, but, change is difficult. That's why most people don't do it. I love you guys. I thank you very much for listening. Thank you to everyone who has been supporting me and being so kind to me and sending me so many messages. Oh my gosh, I have gotten so many amazing things. People have donated money to me to help me with my mom's funeral. Strangers. Someone sent me, oh my God, for Christmas, someone sent me a ancestor DNA test so that I can take a DNA test and find out if I have family, like half sisters and brothers, because I'm very sure that I do. I know my father had siblings before he married my mom, and I know he had kids. He had kids before my mom, and then he had kids after he had kids with my mom. So somebody sent me that. I'm really grateful and really excited to do that. And thank you very much to everyone who has been so kind, checking on me, sending prayers for me, sending love to me. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for listening. Bye.